everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pittsburgh Sports Castle Podcast. I know it's been a while since we've had a show. There's been a lot of stuff going on, not just in sports, but in the lives of myself and in the lives of the staff. So just happy to be back for a show. I'm your host, Rachael Kriger. And on this show, I have a very special guest joining us, Tom Ovenden, also known as Tomo, as I frequently call him, is the head coach of Hotspurs women's soccer team for the WPSL, the Women's Premier Soccer League. It is the second division of women's soccer in the United States. He is involved with the Hotspurs on the men's side as well. He is the face of that club pretty much. So we have Tomo joining us, so take a listen to my interview, my chat with him this past weekend. Okay. Well, thanks, Tomo, for joining today. Really appreciate it. It's been a long time. We haven't chatted in a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. I know you're coming off of a 0-0 draw with England and Scotland.
Yeah.
From yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm anxious to
get over that performance.
Yeah, it was an entertaining game. I'll give it that. It was very entertaining. I'm anxiously waiting Russia and who do we have? Denmark on Monday. So
yeah.
But
I think people forget that England in Euro 96 they had a draw and a win and they went to the semi. So I think we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. So for those who don't know you, Tomo he's been with Hotspurs, formerly known as Steel City FC, part of the Women's Premier Soccer League for a few years now. Been with the Hotspurs organization with the men's side for, oh gosh, Tomo, I don't even know how long, but can you just kind of describe your role with the teams, with the organization?
Yeah, so I run the club. So 2016 we started like reorganized the program and with the idea to get first teams eventually, and what we're now 4 or 5 years later, we've got those in place and we've brought the Steel City brand in under us and rebranded the women's team now under the Hotspurs umbrella, and we got more changes to come soon, so we're just continuing the development of the program and trying to do something a little bit different in the city, really, create a family orientated club that people can hopefully get behind and feel engaged about for that local community, for the businesses and everyone around in the area. So,
and what was it like working with everyone from Steel City FC? I know Jordan D'Alessio is a big part of it, getting the Steel City FC brand within the Hotspurs brand. What was that process like?
It was good. I mean, at the end of the day, it just like when you put running a football club is it's very difficult. There's a lot to do, and when you bring it in under one umbrella, like it just made a lot of sense to continue the mission on, because we've got the same goals. We're all aligned from that perspective, and it just made a lot of sense because we've got the youth programs, and we can build an all-encompassing program from top to bottom with all the resources that we've got with the youth club involved. So it just made a lot more sense for the use of the resources, because Jordan was becoming very stretched, and we're all stretched now, but we've got a lot of people sharing that burden.
Yeah, for sure. I know I saw Jordan's on your roster. I saw she started a few days, so it's good to see. I know she's had some injuries for the last couple of years, so it's good to see her back playing again.
Yeah, she's great. She's a really good player. It's been difficult for her because she's had some injury issues. So we're kind of keeping her in cotton wool and then bringing her out for special occasions at the moment. So it's been.
Yeah, she's great. I've loved working with her, phone calls with her over the past few years, and she's a huge part of that team.
She's passionate. She gets the team excited, and breaks the ice in some, in certain situations, and will be the loud one and the people, the one that gets people excited and going in the matches. So it's good.
Yeah. So for, the Hotspurs, like you just mentioned, it's not just the men's team and then the women's team in the WPSL. It's a lot of the youth programs too.
Yeah.
I know, like on the weekends and stuff, I see on the Twitter posts, the graphics of the scores for all the games, and there's so many games that go on. So just what's it like for you to see how much it's grown, how many teams there are, just like the successes of all of it?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like the thing that drives us on is the majority of clubs in America right now are selections of teams that happen to wear the same shirt. What our goal is to try and progress players through into our adult teams, and have those teams made up of as many players from the academy as possible. But they've got to be of the level, so we've got to be producing players in our academy that can end up playing in the WPSL and in the NPSL and make minutes. So that's really the overall encompassing goal, is to create a system where players can progress to their next level and always have a next level to reach. So that's really the big goal and the big mission with what we're trying to do here. So it's great seeing all the other teams and having all the families engaged with the club and interested in what happens with the other teams, not just what's happening with their daughter or son's team. So that's been the great and unique thing, and we can see the trend building across America now. You're starting to see the first teams. You're starting to see more and more of these leagues, older leagues being developed, and we really believe that that's the future of American soccer. So we're excited to be part of the front runners, certainly in Pittsburgh, with it, and hopefully more and more people get involved.
Mm-hmm. Do some of those NPSL and WPSL players work with those younger kids?
So yeah, we have a summer training program that runs, and that's staffed by the first teams on the women's and the men's side. So the kids get to work with those players through the summer, which is great. And we've got big plans for that. We've got big plans for that being developed, and who knows where that could go. Really, we're just scratching the surface this year with what we're doing with our programming. So there is a lot of opportunities. Like, for example, like we had 3 or 4 girls from out of state come and stay, like that are staying in families. So they're coming out and playing in the with the women's team, and that's providing a lot of different perspectives and opportunities as well. So it's been really good so far.
Yeah, that's great. You guys have a lot of local players and stuff. I mean, that's pretty much standard for the WPSL and the NPSL teams. I saw Nick Kolarik's name on there. I knew him when he played for the Hounds. And then Dixon Veltri, who played for Pitt women's soccer, and Jess O'Neill's back. And there's a ton of new and old players. Which players, I guess, for the women's team, which players have excited you so far?
I mean, like, having Dixon involved has been like phenomenal. Just like her level of play is excellent, and her right now she really wants to go pro. Her ambitions are to go to the next level. So obviously she's got some more stuff to do with college and finish her masters and things like that. But those are the next steps she wants to take. So I'm just happy that we can provide a little bit of a platform for her to keep training and playing, and then her bringing her professionalism into the group just exposes our academy players and some of our younger players, or first year college players that are coming back, inspires them. And then people like Taylor Hamlet as well, who's playing Division 1 in Middle Tennessee, is just bringing up the level and helping them as well keep their touches in and gain confidence, hopefully to go back into their full seasons, alive and kicking. Like Jess O'Neill, like she's at the other end of the spectrum where she's got a 9-to-5 job, wants to keep playing, and she's every year she's got a little bit better for our game model and the way that we want to play. So she's just every year got that a tiny bit, took another step forward and wants to keep playing like while having a 9-to-5 job, which I think is great. Like that's one of the big missing links over here, and you're seeing more and more players that are graduating university that still want to play. So I'm hoping that as the NPSL grows and as the other leagues grow, there can be more opportunities as the regional leagues grow and there's more teams to play closer to home, that more of these players can play through their 20s into their early 30s while still having a job. So I think that's the really exciting thing for the American game, is if we can get more and more clubs like us doing it, where we have more regional leagues, more teams to play.
Mm-hmm. You guys obviously were off last year because of the pandemic. There was no WPSL season. Just what was that like for you guys in terms of keeping the players engaged and motivated and wanting to come back and whatnot?
Yeah, it was like we said, like as a staff, like if we can get through this year, we can do anything. And in some ways, like it enabled us to breathe a little bit and get get a lot of work off the field done, and put us in good stead for when we were ready to come back into it. So that was good, but it was really difficult to keep people motivated. I think in some ways, once we got back in, we're still in it, but once we've got back to a little bit of more normality, we're starting to see more and more people now want to come and play soccer at the youth level, for sure. And it's enabled us to get some momentum going now, with people raring to go and being excited to play football again.
When you guys came back this year, at least for the WPSL, there's always growth in the league. There's so many teams that are popping up, and there's so many different realignments of conferences. You guys are now in the Ohio Valley Conference. What do you like about your conference? What has tested you about your conference, and how's it going so far?
Yeah, I think it's been good. Like we had a couple of home games to start off with, and we played. Trying to think who we played the first game.
Cleveland, right?
Cleveland, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, we played Cleveland in the first game, and those games are always the best. Like the Cleveland game's always the tough game. Yeah, because they got two teams this year. Both teams are really good, and Caleb and his team do a really good job. And I feel like every year we've taken another little step towards them. We've gradually getting back to Pippin getting to their level, which has been exciting, and I think that's just only a good thing for the league. So yeah, we had the 1-1, and then the new team, Croatia. I thought we played really well against, and we had a really good crowd. We're getting a good buzz at Founders Field. Brought the field back to life, which has been huge. And that is a real location that you can really build a family-based club, where you can really come, and let your kids loose, go and play and watch the game. And there's been a real nice atmosphere. So I think that's been a real positive. And the league in general it's always been good. So the level of the league is high, and we just want to get more and more players that, the more and more be a location where players know that we can be a stepping stone for their football career. And, and then the win for us is, exposing our academy players and giving them a little bit of an insight to college football, and then letting them get onto the next step as well. So we're excited for this year, and WPSL is a huge part for our women's program moving forward. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, that's great. There's always a lot of buzz with the WPSL with all the new teams and whatnot. So like I felt like every day almost there was a new team announcement in the off season. It was crazy. But that builds the league, like you said.
Yeah, and there's the other league as well. There's the other women's league. So like women's football's on the up and up, and we're excited to be a part of it. And there's just like you said, there's more teams cropping up all over the place. It can only be a good thing. We just want everyone to keep the standards up, and we're able to come together and have some good matches.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, you guys drew with Cleveland, and then you guys have a bit of a break until the next game against Century United, and that's kind of like your derby right there.
Yeah.
How excited are you for that game?
Yeah, we're excited about that. We actually got postponed against Cleveland on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it got called off, so I think it was just it says 0-0 on the website, but we've got to reschedule that game because of lightning. But yeah, and then we've got Century coming up, which they're new into the league, and they're a local rival, so that's good. They blocked us on Twitter, so that was a good start. So we're really pumped for that game, and that's what it's all about. Like we want that rivalry, and we want that to be something for people to get excited about, because that's what it's all about. Having opponents, and it's okay that they're close, and that it's okay that they've got a team and they're nearby. I mean, that seems to be the franchise model over here. It seems to be that, you can't have two teams really close to each other. And I'm like, why not? like there's enough humans around. So we're really pumped to get that going, and we'll see how it goes. So
that's a game that won't be one to miss. That's for sure. The local rivalry, I love it. They blocked you on Twitter. That's awesome. That's great. I love it. This season, I feel like it's a bit longer than usual. You guys are running into late July a little bit. How excited are your players just to have a full season to play back after having, a year off? And who are some of the new players? I know we talked about Dixon a little bit, but some of the new players who have really impressed you.
Like Sydney Rauch or Rooch, I always get her last name wrong, from Duquesne. She's been really good. Every year, the WPSL, it's funny because you have to have such a big squad, just because there's a lot of, things going on in the players, with the players. So I think we're at like 40 something players on the roster. And then, we get about 25 to 30 players at practice. And then, for all the games, but gradually, you have your core and you build your core, and then you have those players that come in for a year and then go off onto the next step. So gradually we've been building that again. I felt like when I came in with Steel City, there was that core. And then once we brought them in, that core kind of, not aged out, but we lost a few of those players, and we've kept a couple, Jansen's still there, Jordan's there. In terms of like the new players that have come in, like Taylor Hamlet from Middle Tennessee's come in. She's been, outstanding. We've had Layla Hanoi, who's been in the centre midfield, who's been excellent, like a real exciting, buzzing player. Been really good in the midfield. We've had Raewyn Murphy, who's a new player, and Anouk, who are the players that came from outside. So they were in Ohio Valley University, and we've got them, staying in a housing with a couple of families. So they've done really well when they've come in, and been at everything. So it's given us that kind of stability. And then Marissa Dezorzi is a new player for us, who's a coach in our club. She was at WVU, And she's been unbelievable. Like, she's got herself fit, and she set the goal of getting into our team, and she's been really excellent. Lena Spencer has been new from Carnegie Mellon University. She is the brain of our team, we call her, because she's at Carnegie Mellon, and she's just rapid. She's really, really fast. And I feel like we've helped her a lot with some of her games. So that's been exciting. And Jenna Dubbs has been a 9-to-5er. So she's come from Philadelphia, and she's been moved to Pittsburgh, got a job, and she's just been getting better and better every practice. So we've had a lot of new faces, but I feel like next year a few of them will stay, and then we'll have a bigger core, and then we'll bring in some new players, and as we go on and build our relationships along the way. So exciting, really, as it builds.
Yeah, that's awesome. Switching gears a little bit to the men's team, what do you think of them? How are they doing? And what, they have a schedule too.
Yeah, I think the men have been doing good. They're on the back of like 3 wins on the trot at the moment. So we've been building some consistency there. The men are, really engaged. I've been seeing the practices. I think we've had Dan Brower coming in and working with the coaching staff, and Tom Campbell. And, because these guys are all integrated with the youth program, we're all working together on a day-to-day basis. So I feel like they've been able to share a lot of the burden of the coaching responsibilities. So that's been a real positive thing for the culture. And then, just having some familiar faces coming back, and they're building their core as well. And I can only just see it getting better and better. You can already start to feel our culture is getting people excited, and we're becoming, like a proper club. Like, we're not there yet, and we'll in our mind we'll never be there, but we're definitely somewhere where you can come and rely on to get some good training and get a professional environment for the players. So I'm really impressed with what Tom and Dan and Jay, the coaching staff, have done on the boys' side.
Yeah, that's great. For somebody who is hearing you speak for the first time, hearing about Hotspurs for the first time, what would you say to them to get them excited and want to be part of this culture that you're growing, whether it's, as a fan, as somebody who wants to get involved?
Well, like, above all, like, for me, it's been like second nature to do what we do, right? Like, your local team has a special place, like, and that's what we want people to get excited about. Like, we want people to follow us because they're their local team. Like, obviously, like Pittsburgh Riverhounds, are always going to be there. But, for this northeast pocket of Pittsburgh, we want people, for those people to have their local team. And, if they want to come somewhere where you feel connected to more than just, if you're a youth player, we want you to feel more than, you're more connected to all of the other teams, not just the team that your kid's playing on. We want to be a family and be there for, be there for each other. And then the players, we just hope it's a similar thing, like a family, some place where you can come and play and, feel excited and to get engaged with. And that's really what we're trying to do, is just, be there for the local community, really. Whether you're a player or just someone that's coming to watch the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. I know you said your new field, Founders Field, is a great place to kind of build that culture. So I'll have to check it out before I move to Florida.
Yes, you will.
Hopefully soon. But that's pretty much all I had for you. It was good to talk to you again, and hope England has a good last group stage match for you.
We'll see.
Yeah, but best of luck to you and all the teams. You and I started working together with the women's team, but I've kept up with the men's team and stuff. So hopefully all of the teams, the youth, the
Yeah.
PSL, the WPSL teams, they do great.
Well, we appreciate what you're doing for local soccer in the community. So having people like you doing these interviews and making us a little bit relevant is really appreciated. And we're sorry to see you go to Florida, but hopefully you'll keep going with local soccer for America.
Certainly, I'll be keeping in touch with you guys. Don't worry.
Good, well, stuff, Rach.
Thanks again for joining. Thanks again to Tom Ovenden for joining us. You can follow the team on social media. We have the links for all of their social media pages, their website, in our article document that the podcast is going to be promoted on. Good luck to Tomo and both teams, all the youth teams, and that's it for us here at the Pittsburgh Sports Castle Podcast for this show. So we will see you next time, hopefully to be talking about some more local Pittsburgh sports.